movie was released, I wouldn't have had a reference point for her.
See, I totally knew it at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Cool.
Because
anyway.
98 I already knew. That's 98 it came out, or was it 2000? No.
But for me, I was like, I have seen The Big Lebowski dozens of times, but it's one of those movies where every time I see it, I notice something new. Yeah. So it will be fresh forever.
There are tons of little cameos and things in there, too. Of course, Flea is one of the nihilists.
Yeah. Well, I knew that, and I would have had a reference point for Flea. He might have been one of the reasons I went to see it in the first place. Probably.
Huh.
Yeah. But how are you going to keep them down on the farm after they've seen, what is it, Carl Junger?
Carl Hungus?
Hungus,
the
porn magnet. Yeah, but I only know that reference because of the show Archer. Because there's an Archer episode when Pam bangs this guy and then she's singing to herself, how are you going to keep them down on the farm now that they've seen Pammy? And I was like, why does that sound familiar? Look up the lyrics on Google. Oh, it's this old classic song. Mm-hmm. So it gets referenced a lot, but it's pretty obscure. So
yeah, it makes sense. I guess that Archer would use it.
Yeah. But again, when I was a teenager seeing Big Lebowski for the first time, I never would have gotten that reference. Pretty cool.
That's such
good
a great
stuff.
movie. But yeah, that's one that I've seen quite a bit.
What was the most recent Coen Brothers?
Oh,
I mean, they were involved with the
one,
Fargo series, right?
I don't know how involved they are with that.
No.
But they had that, it was like sort of a mini series. They had the Netflix thing, Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which
I liked it. Yeah,
it was all right.
It was okay.
Yeah.
We talked about that. We both had our favorite moments.
The Tom Waits one is the best.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And
the one with, what's his name? The Stephen Root, a guy from Office Space and News Radio. That guy. He's the red stapler guy in Office Space. He's in Barry.
Oh, yeah.
He's Barry's handler.
Oh, crap! I can't think of his name.
Stephen Root.
That's Stephen Root.
Yeah.
I never knew. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, he's in a Coen Brothers thing?
He was in Ballad of Buster Scruggs. He was the one who comes out like all covered in pans, chasing down James Franco's character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So,
but they haven't had a theatrically released film for a while. I'm trying to think of what the last one was for that.
The Jim Jarmusch one that came out, The Dead Don't Die.
The one that I fell asleep.
Tom Waits is in that.
Yeah.
Which I thought that would have kept you awake, just that fact.
You know what? I was just so gone already. I was out of it.
So when I was out of town, Chris went to see it at Film Bar, and he said, meh. So maybe you're not missing anything.
I'll watch it. I'm sure I'll get it when it comes out, because I have most Jim Jarmusch films.
His review was that it was pretty weak, not very funny, and I was surprised, because I thought the humor was really in the filmmaker making fun of himself. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I tend to like Jim Jarmusch stuff. So,
and Chris said he tends to like zombie movies, even if they're cheesy. I'm like, this one is
zombie movies.
This one is very cheesy.
But there's a new Zombieland coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you'll go see it?
I'll probably go see that. I really liked the first one.
I thought it was okay.
It was fun. I liked I don't know. It's one of those where I'm like,
relationships were cool.
I tend to like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
I tend to find him entertaining.
He makes the Hunger Games movies tolerable.
I've only seen the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was kind of under duress. I didn't. I don't know what's going on with my voice.
You?
I have this really froggy thing going on.
Oh, that's okay. It's the weird pressure because of the monsoons.
That's it. I was going to say it's usually it's because it's too dry, but it's really.
It's humid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but was it the new this Mark Maron movie, Sort of Trust, that I've heard nothing but great things about, is playing for the next 2 weeks at Shea 14.
Okay.
So
well, that's good.
I got tickets to see it next Wednesday. That should be fun. And we're going to go see the 35 millimeter Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at Alamo.
That's pretty special.
Yeah.
Alamo Draft House.
One in Tempe. Yeah. It would be nice if there was one
closer. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard they're opening more. They seem to be everywhere. I just saw one in New York. Did I? Where else have I been? San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like in Phoenix proper. I think the next one that's opening is out. It might be, I can't remember if it's way west or way east, but it's one of the two. I don't know. There's not a lot of places to go in right now.
Yeah,
downtown or
that's
something.
That's what I was going to say. They probably need a big space.
Yeah,
to open up.
All the big spaces are taken up by
Yeah.
apartment buildings right now.
In the last month, I have gone roller skating twice.
Yeah?
Yes. I went to Skateland last week with my nieces the day before they had to go back to school. It was in the middle of the day. That was odd because there was nobody there. Skateland in Chandler. And then before that, I went to a giant roller rink that's on the edge of town in Portland, Oregon. Because my cousin and I were going to go for queer night, but we messed up and it was the wrong night of the month. And then we just decided to go anyway because it was adult night open skate. And there are some serious roller skaters in Portland, Oregon. Like there were people lined up doing the synchronized skating, which really looks like ballet. It's very impressive.
I think there are probably serious everything in Portland.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wow.
They're like all laid back, but then
survive.
they're passionate about something.
Yeah. And then when I was driving around upstate, actually I should say Western New York, it was pointed out to me that Letchworth State Park, where we were in Buffalo, is technically Western New York. I was out in the middle of nowhere, like probably 50 miles outside of the city of Buffalo. And there's nothing but red barns and farms. And all of a sudden there's a giant venue and it was a roller rink. And I thought, that's cool. It's the country kids apparently like roller skating. I can get down with that. I should have pulled in and tried to see if they needed a DJ.
There you go.
Apply for a job.
But then you would have had to call your friend's brother-in-law so that you could get him to
be my, download all the MP3s for me since I no longer have
because there was probably also spotty Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Damn it. So that's when you make your phone into a hotspot and then you just burn through your whole data plan because that's actually what I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oops.
I have the unlimited thing. I know it's not unlimited for hotspot use, but I had probably about a month in my late teens. I was probably 18 or 19 where I rollerbladed, and that's my extent of being on wheels.
Did you have the wrist guards, the elbow pads, knee pads? Really?
Nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I chanced it and fell on my ass a couple of times. Yeah.
I never was afraid of falling until this part of my adult life. And I kind of appreciate
You're
it
much more fragile now.
Well, getting hurt is scarier.
I don't mean you specifically, but
No, you're right.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. Bones take longer to mend and whatnot. So if you go to Great Skate or Skateland, they require you to do the wrist guards.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually appreciate that because I don't own any anymore. So I can feel a little more secure. Although then you have to think about how many people have used them and how sweaty and gross they really are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I went with my nieces last Tuesday, the little one, oh, by the way, they're both naturals. Like a lot of the kids will get these little walker things. They look really silly. They're like made out of PVC pipe and they have
so that
wheels.
They can like steady themselves.
Yeah. So the little kids will have the skates on and then they're holding this thing, this walker thing, moving around. My nieces were like, no, forget that. Like we already put these on in the backyard. We know how to do it kind of. And Evie, the little one who's 5, was doing laps by herself.
Wow.
She just took it off and we weren't even out there on the rink. So we're watching her. We're like, wow, that's amazing. But when you are in mixed company, at least for me, the scariest thing is I'm worried I'm going to run over a child.
Oh, yeah. I would be concerned about that because they're
pretty
so
much
small.
in control because I used to do roller derby. But yeah, they're small and they do stupid shit like cut across the rink. And then,
Yeah, I mean, you can trip over children just out and about. They're just there and you're not looking down. And they tend to get underfoot.
I'm more worried about knocking out one of my teeth than one of theirs.
Yeah, because depending on their age, it'll grow back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
How much time did you spend in New York?
I was there 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was crazy. I had a red eye getting out there, and then I had a stupid flight coming back. So the connection getting out there was at JFK to Buffalo. Coming back, it was Buffalo to Chicago. But of course, we flew out in a rainstorm. So it was just a tiny plane, really choppy, all the way to Chicago. And then Chicago to Phoenix, I don't really remember because I was so out of it because that flight got up. I mean, I was on the plane early in the morning, but it was a red eye getting out there because that's the only way I could make it cost effective.
Sure.
And so I woke up in Buffalo and feeling just like really cracked out. Went to pick up my rental car. I'm surprised I made it to the venue in one piece because I probably shouldn't have been driving. I was just so tired. But the wedding was in a really beautiful spot called Letchworth State Park. Have you ever heard of it? I hadn't either. I didn't bother to research it. But they call it the Grand Canyon of the East.
Oh.
For a good reason, because it has these spectacular canyons. And then there's a river that flows, and there's like 3 sets of falls. And my friend who chose this as a venue had the middle falls in the background. And it was totally lovely. Really magical. While right after they did we started the dinner, so during the reception, but before we started dancing and playing music, hot air balloons just started descending over the river and the falls. So it was picturesque, just really gorgeous. And then I got to thinking, geez, I lived in New York City almost 7 years, and I never knew about this state park, and it's fantastic. And it would have been, I mean, I guess that's 7-8 hours north of New York City, but I never got to go while I lived out there. Isn't that weird? We get so busy with our little city lives.
Yeah.
And working all the time and commuting.
Don't go out and do stuff.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was nice because I got to hike around. And the weather was much cooler. I think it didn't get over 82 degrees.
Does it get muggy over there, though?
It does, but I don't complain because I don't know. Maybe I'm not really human. Humidity doesn't really bother me. Like, I'm feeling sticky right now, but it's not bothering me at all. It's been like this all day.
The humidity bothers me a little bit. Mostly it's because it makes my hair poof out. But
yeah, my hair is uncontrollable, but I don't care. You know, like I'll just do a pony or something.
Yeah.
I probably looked unruly for the wedding photos. Oh, did I mention I was also a bridesmaid?
No.
Yeah.
The brides.
And that was
DJing bridesmaid.
Yeah. I did a wardrobe change because I had to be Madonna like that. Madonna, incidentally, was also on my playlist. Yeah, that was super fun. And this next week, I'm going to Boston for a few days.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. To finish out the summer. And then hopefully when I get back, it'll start being around 90 degrees or cooler.
I don't know. Because that'll be... August, it's still...
hot.
August, it's still in the hundreds, I think, usually.
Yeah. We might go up to Flagstaff on Saturday for the Mead Fest. Because it's National Mead Day on August 3rd. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I do like
Chris
mead.
loves mead.
Yeah, I can only handle like so much, though. It's so sweet.
It is very sweet.
Yeah.
But I think they'll have wine and cider and other things, too. I'm trying not to drink so much because this summer it was a little bit of a lush. Anyway. And I think we're also going to do a baseball game Friday night, which I haven't done this season. But D-backs are having a pretty good season. They're like the wild card.
Are they?
Yeah, I think this weekend determines what might happen.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's starting to wind down for playoffs in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's... I haven't gone to see a game this year, which would be the first time in a few years. I do like going to games. Baseball's always been my favorite sport.
Yeah, me too. I know a lot of people think it's boring.
They do, yes. And I always prefer being at a game over watching it.
Yeah.
But I used to listen to baseball on the radio too, especially when I was a kid, because I would listen to Vin Scully announce the Dodgers. And that, that was always fun to listen to as a kid.
Dodger Stadium is a good time. I went to a game there once.
I've never been to Dodger Stadium, although the Dodgers were my team as a kid.
Yeah.
because we lived closer to Angel Stadium.
Oh.
And would go see